My world collapsed in that moment. Those letters, they were from her. The woman I loved, the woman I lost. And now, she was gone. It all started with a pen pal club, a place where strangers could connect through letters, hiding behind nicknames. I called myself Neo. She was Nikki. We didn't know each other's real names, but through those letters, we connected in ways I never imagined. We shared everything, our dreams, fears, loves, and regrets. We became best friends. Our bond began when we were 15 and continued for 6 years. We promised each other that until we met face to face, we wouldn't reveal our true identities. Every week, I eagerly awaited her letters, each one a lifeline that bridged the gap between us. Then, everything changed. One moment, I was driving home, thinking about her, and the next, I was gone. The accident was bad. I was in a coma for weeks, and when I finally woke up, I wasn't even in my hometown anymore. My parents moved me to the city for treatment, leaving everything behind, including our old house. So much time had passed, so many moments were lost. Months later, when we returned to my hometown to sell the house, I found them. The mailbox was stuffed with letters. Most of them bills or junk, but hidden underneath there they were, letters from my Nikki. I tore them open with trembling hands, desperate to know what she had written. For all this time, she had written me so many times, her words overflowing with love, hope, and later, confusion. In one of the letters, she had written the words I had longed to hear. I love you, Neo. She had confessed her love, hoping I would feel the same, but I never wrote back. I never even saw those letters. With every word, I felt her slipping away, her hope turning into doubt, her love into uncertainty. She wrote a few more times after that, each letter more heartbreaking than the last. In her final letter, she wrote, I'm sorry for loving you. I'm sorry for ruining our friendship. I've waited long enough. I will not write to you again. My chest tightened as I realized the depth of her pain. She had been waiting, day after day, for a response that would never come. I wanted to tell her everything, to explain why I hadn't replied. But it was too late. She had moved on. There, inside the last letter, was a short note, barely more than a few lines. My parents separated. I've moved to another place with my dad. I agreed to marry a man he found for me. Your friend, Nikki. And that was it. The end of our love story. The love I never had the chance to say out loud. I spent years thinking of Nikki, imagining the life we could have had if I had just seen her letters in time. But life moved on, and so did everyone around me. My parents started urging me to settle down, so I married the girl they chose for me. She was everything a man could ask for. Pretty, kind, patient, but she wasn't Nikki. No matter how hard she tried, I couldn't love her the way she deserved. Instead, I blamed her for everything. My failures, my misery. I acted like she was the reason for my pain, when all she ever did was try to love me. Her kindness became a burden, constant reminder of what I had lost. Every day, I grew colder, more distant, trapped in my regret. And in the end, I punished my wife for the emptiness I carried inside. One night, after a long day, I came home drunk, angry, and tired. She was in the kitchen, still cooking, trying to make everything perfect. But all I could think about was how hungry and frustrated I was. So I yelled at her, louder and harsher than I ever had before. She cried, but I didn't stop. I told her to leave. I wanted to be alone in my misery. She didn't fight back. She just packed her things and walked out. But I didn't care. After she left, I couldn't control my anger. I tore through our room, throwing away her remaining belongings. As I did, a small box fell, scattering papers across the floor. I bent down to pick them up and froze. They were my letters to Nikki. It hit me all at once. The woman I married was Nikki. My Nikki. I couldn't believe it. The woman I had loved all along was right in front of me, and now she was gone. Will she come back to me? After everything I've done, can I hope for a second chance, or is it too late?